Welcome to BizWack. Brought to you by Hugh Hamilton Leadership Group. This episode sponsored by Hofstede's Country Barn, featuring Craig MacQueen from MacQueen Systems. Here we go. BizWack, Tyler, Hugh, Craig MacQueen.
Hey guys,
how's it going, Craig?
good buddy.
Good to have you on.
Thanks for the invite.
Thanks for coming.
First podcast, so I'm pretty jacked up. Yeah,
Right on. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We just met like 7 minutes ago, so should be fun. We're all about having fun.
good.
So tell us about MacQueen Systems.
So we're a general contractor with like a carpentry background, right? So that's kind of what we do. We provide a lot of our own labor. So we have about 18 employees at this point, carpenters. We do all kinds of stuff from fence post, like to a full custom home build, to commercial stuff, to, renovations, to kind of whatever. If you can build it, we'll do it. No problem. So that's kind of our thing. And little, small, big, whatever. We're kind of just take care of it all, whatever it takes type of guy. So.
And you gave me some swag today. You gave me the hat and the T-shirt, of course. Did you tell him XL, Lou? Did you tell him? Yeah. It fits nice. And my wife likes all this swag I'm getting as well too. But so talk about the logo. Is that a horse going on up there?
It's a griffin. So I'm a Scotsman, right?
Okay.
So different kind of cheap, right? So, but yeah, it's a griffin. It's from my family crest, and I kind of pulled it from that. And it's kind of like a bit of a house, bit of a griffin. And then that's the way I got it done up, I don't know, probably like 10, 12 years ago.
How do you find out your family crest?
Well, I'm a Scotsman, and my family's pretty proud. I'm a Scotsman. So yeah, my grandparents had it up in their house, and then I've kind of always known what it was and checked it out, and they're pretty proud of our history. So
I like that too. That's got to hit home too every time you look at your business and your logo and stuff like that. Yeah, your family crest. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something ties it all together anyway, right? It's good,
right?
Yeah.
I was reading Craig's website and all his testimonials. Mm-hmm. So your customers are pretty happy with you. I'm wondering, to walk us through that process, like how do you make a good first impression? How do you ensure you're doing quality work, and why are they so happy with you?
I guess the main thing is I'm a service first type of guy. Like I'm a people pleasing. Like for me, it's like, I say to all my guys, like, okay, if you're working at someone's house, we're not just a carpenter. Like we're in their home, we're part of their family. We have to invest ourselves. We're a service first, quality first type of business, right? So we're not just there to build you a bathroom or build you a house or do whatever. Like we're here to, we're good. Like I kind of tell the guys, we're good Canadian boys. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of our motto, right? Like, hey, this grandma need help crossing the road, or, do you need some help with your groceries, or hey, how's things? Just so we take that extra time. And and I kind of throw out all my guys. Like that's kind of the first thing I tell them when I bring them on is we're service first, quality first, and then everything else is second. So that's kind of how we've kind of grown to this where we are, and we've had good success with that. Obviously there's you have some difficulties along the way, but we try to put it be honest, be transparent, and give our best service we can. So
and you show up with like the Carhartt swag, like you're looking like a general contractor as well.
Yeah.
So if someone's contacting the company, you're the first line of offense. Like it's going to you. And you're doing all the quotes and everything like that. So it's all you up front as far as like the business and the quotes and operation side of things.
Yeah. So I have an operations manager, like that he does a lot of some stuff with us. But yeah, if you generally, like on the way in here, I was talking to a customer, like my phone number's on the website, my phone number's on the vehicles, it's on the trailers, it's on the business cards. Like, we do have an office line, but if someone's phoning, they're going to get me usually.
Which kind of truck you got? What are you rocking?
F-150, right? And that's
F-150.
Yeah.
Right.
Black by chance?
No.
Not white, is it?
It's the space white, so it's super cool.
Oh, okay.
Off-white, yeah.
And how long you been in business?
So I started, there's been a couple different phases of MacQueen Systems. So I started this company, probably 13, 14 years ago, and I was a proprietor, and I generally did framing and foundation work, and me and a couple guys, and that was my major gig, right? So we do custom homes, or we do spec homes, or we're like a subcontractor, so we do the forming, the framing, and then, kind of work from there. Right. And then we've kind of grown into, from that, I kind of got sick of that life, just doing this super spec stuff. And we kind of grown into, hey, we're going to start doing it all, right? So, we've done siding, we've done, all the way up into full builds, right? So that's kind of how I got started. I was a framing and forming contractor, and then just kind of throughout that history, kind of built up my experience, and kind of that's where we are now, right? General contractor.
So custom homes, that's where you started, because I have a couple buddies that do custom homes. That's a long race. Like if even everything for you're subbing out, leaving their bathtubs and showers and tiling and stuff like that. Did you got outside of that? You said, but like, is that something that you were able to identify right away? Like, this is where the money's at, or was it just more of a little bit of a pain? Were you able to find like the balance? Because it's tough dealing with people's like houses.
It is, and honestly, like we do a lot of work for customers. We don't work, and a lot of custom stuff, right? So that's been my biggest thing is customer service, right? Like, hey, you can call me anytime, right? Sunday, call me, I'm gonna answer, right? Like Saturday, like maybe my wife might not like that, but if they have a problem, please come to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to be like very like solution based, and what can we do for you, right? So I recognize that that's a lacking thing in the general contracting game, right? And that that can be of real value to the right customer.
You worked yourself, so are you laboring at all?
I've been off the tools for a couple of years now.
Right on.
Yeah. So just trying to build the business and get a good team together. But like historically, I was the guy with the shovel in my hand and whatever. I'm a roughneck, right? Like whatever it takes, right?
Those make the best business owners. Yeah.
And he was in Alberta before that. Well, what's it like to work in Alberta? What part of Alberta?
Yeah, so I did construction. I guess we'll start from the beginning. I started when I was 17, building barns and doing foundations and concrete and whatever, working for, from here to Abbotsford type of thing. And then I started working for a general contractor after that. And then I got into, where I was working for a custom home builder, right? So, we'd whack all the lots, we'd set the lot lines, and I'd help with the excavation, set the grades. And, I was a kid, right? With a shovel and doing whatever, right?
17.
Learning.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah, kid, right? So, and then I did that till I was about 21. So I had a really good experience, and actually still to this day, I work for some of those same clients. And, but I was like, okay, I'm only making a certain amount of money here. Right. And at that time, everyone was going to the oil rigs, right? So I was about 20. I took off and did the Alberta thing, and I worked off and on, probably over 8 years, right? Off and on, always coming back, and on my days off, I'd always frame or work carpentry, or because the oil rigs aren't a full-time thing.
So you were going on and off to the rigs.
Yeah, so I do my 2 weeks or 3 weeks on the rigs, and then I come
talk about that.
Then I come home and I do, I'd have 10 days off or whatever, right? So I usually pick up 5 or 6 days with my buddies. They'd be framing, and I'd be working with them, because I kind of always knew in my back of my head that I'm not going to end up like, I can only do the oil rigs for so long, right? It's cold.
Right.
It's cold, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I did that, and then I worked my way up to driller. And then
it was 3 weeks on.
Yeah,
2 weeks on.
It was 2 weeks on, and then 1 week off usually. But a lot of the time, like, you didn't get that, right? So you'd be 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Or you do 5 weeks on, 1 week off. So just depending how it was, or you might get 2 or 3 months off, right? So if something happens, and that's where I always kind of came back to carpentry. All my buddies were in carpentry, so it's like I was easy to be able to come on, you know what I mean, and grab my hammer, my tool pouch, and go make some money either way, right? So,
but I want to stop on the oil rigs though.
Yeah.
So was it camp? Were you in camp, or?
Yeah.
And how was that? Like, because I've heard a lot of stories. Like, so first of all, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what were you making? Like, I know that's honey money. Well, like, what were you making?
Yeah. So the joke goes that a roughneck's wage is always worth a case of beer, right? A 2-4, right? So
how expensive is beer in Alberta?
It's getting expensive out there.
Yeah.
But I think I started out as a lease. So I guess like how it goes is, I started out. I took a bus to Dawson Creek, and then I tried to get a job there. I was living didn't have any money or whatever. I was just and then I took a bus to Edmonton, and I started living in like the YMCA, which was pretty much like it was a halfway house, pretty much. All like I was living with all these like French Canadian prisoners, and it was like, okay,
that must have been intense.
It was intense, yeah. And then I would go to like there's a certain road in Edmonton where you go, and I'd walk there, and it was like in December, and I would like go to the rigs shops every single day and be like, hey, I'm still here. Hey, can I get a job? I'm still here. And then I was doing that for like 3 weeks, and I remember I spent like my last $20 at 7-Eleven, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to phone my mom to get a bus to ride home, right? I remember I bought like the Fantastic Four movie and like a hot dog from 7-Eleven, and I like watched it with like those little DVD players that like sitting in my like bunk room with like these
last $20
stinky dudes, right? And then like the phone rang, and it was a pay-as-you-go phone. Phone rings, and it's this guy from Beaver Drilling, which is the company I worked for the whole time I was in the oil field. And yeah, hey, come out, jump on the bus, and come out to Fox Creek. So it's kind of a like, okay, well, I just got my stuff and like went out, got on the Greyhound bus, and yeah, whipped out overnight to Fox Creek from Edmonton, right? Which is kind of like a little, like they call it Fox Vegas or whatever. Like it's pretty desolate, right? But like, you know, it looks like a little strip coming in, and then I jumped in, and then this guy, his name's Terry Adams, and I worked for him for a long time. And first day I met him, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, he called me Wang right away. I'm like, "Who is this guy?" Like, oh my God, what have I get myself into, right? And yeah, we went to the gas station, and he bought 50 newspapers and like 4 or 5 rolls of Copenhagen
for the boys.
Yeah, and then we jump off, and we like it was like a Twilight Zone, right? And then I kind of got right into there and started working for this crew, and yeah, I made fast friends, and yeah, just that's kind of the rest is history.
Wow, as a young guy.
Yeah, it was great.
Adventurous.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. And like I still to this day, like those original guys, I still talk to Terry. I still talk to those guys all the time, right? So yeah, it's kind of neat.
As soon as you said oil rigs, I'm like, we got to tap into that for sure. That's good. Down to your last 20?
Yeah, man. It was like a movie. Yeah, I was like, oh, Jessica Alba's pretty good. Watch this movie. Like, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get, right? I gotta phone mom up when this is done. And like just it was like another movies, man. The guy phoned me. His name was Beaver Bob, and he's like, "Hey, come on out. Let's. I got you a bus ticket."
So quickly, you moved on to a driller. That's like one of the plateaus for the job.
Yeah. So like I started as a lease hand, which is pretty much your taking the garbage out and scrubbing stuff, right? And then it goes dummy roughneck, stud roughneck, motorman, derrick hand, driller. And then I was like, the first like 6 months, I had moved my way up to stud roughneck. And then
stud roughneck.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. You run the good side, right? And then I think within 2.5 years, I was drilling. So very quickly moved to driller.
And that's where the money is as far as like plateau for wage, right?
Yeah, like I think I was making $50 an hour, at that time.
Don't forget about that OT though.
That's right. So and you're working 12, 16 hours a day, right? And like you're working every day.
Were they paying you after 8 hours?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, overtime.
Oh yeah, double time. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So your first like I think up till 10 is time and a half, and then 10 to 12 is double time, right? So, and then you're doing lots of 16s, and if you get improper rest, you get paid the whole time, and so that happened quite a bit.
Improper rest.
Well, you know what I mean. Like if you work a 16-hour day and you get 6 hours off, right? Like,
right.
You know what I mean. Then they want you to go work another 16-hour day.
That's exciting. I'm glad we went down. Down that hole.
But it's good. That. Like, and then from there, I was doing that, and then I got into drilling fluids. So I was doing like a consultant, right? So I was an expert in the drilling fluids by the time that was all done, and then I got hired on from a drilling fluid company, and I did sales and consultation. So if someone had a problem, they could phone the drilling fluid company, and then they'd send me out to, hey, what's going on? Do some science tests or do titrations or whatever whatever it was to get figured out.
It sounds like the finish line of that is you're a good, hard, reliable worker.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. Canadian
there you go.
Kid.
Good Canadian boy,
that.
Right? Yeah.
And you grew up in the WAC, right?
Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah, I've been here since grade 1 or kindergarten or whatever it was, right? So yeah, it's been great. It's been crazy to see what's happening. And, it's taken off.
So what's one thing you miss about the old Chilliwack since it's grown, and maybe one thing that you're happy to see out here now?
Well, I think if I were to miss one thing is the lack of traffic. I grew up on Watson Road, like just off Watson. And I remember like on Sunday, if you laid in the middle of the road, you would never get hit by a car, right? Like,
that's a good one.
Right? And that's a good. And now it's like you couldn't make it 3 seconds, you'd be run over by 15 cars, right? So
yeah, getting across town like between like 3:30 and 6 is crazy. I got to do that lots. My boys play hockey, so we're kind of going from rink to rink. Getting across town is just too much. It's but you know what? It's like
that's the price of progress.
Yeah, right? I'm glad you said that though, because I mean that's good for business.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, there's way more people. What high school did you go to?
Sardis guy. Yeah. Sardis Falcon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And what about you have 2 girls?
Yeah.
I phoned them the other day. So.
Yeah.
And then what do they think about growing up in Chilliwack? How do they like it?
I think they're like my whole family's from here and my wife's family's from here. Okay. So like we have a very good network of friends, family, you know, like where they're hanging out with their cousins and their aunties and uncles. And like we have a good pretty good group for that. So yeah, I think they're, you know, they swim at the Shem Center across the road. like, you know what I mean? They're, you know, when my wife walks them to school, like, so that's pretty good for them. I think, you know, as far as that goes, like they're kind of living the dream, right? Don't have to go too far. No one's taking a bus, right? Mom picks them up every day. So what else do you want, right?
Right.
Eh?
Yeah, I'm amazed. I've only been out here a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I have a young daughter as well, grade 2. She just loves it. Loves her neighborhood, loves the people. Doesn't want to get in the car and go on the freeway.
No.
She wants to stay out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Is it going to work out that your girl's going to be able to go to Sardis secondary?
GW.
Oh, GW. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I live just off Thomas Road there. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's where my kids all went to Greendale Elementary. And I have one boy in Stetos, and we're kind of having that conversation. We're going to go Sardis, or he's still got one more year at Stetos, but Sardis or GW. I
Does
like
he want to
GW.
play sports?
Yeah, he's an athletic guy.
Football guy?
He's not a football guy.
Rugby?
He does play football at school. He wants to play flag football.
Yeah.
But I coached at GW Graham for a couple years for football.
Tyler was a football guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah.
Did you do sports? You play sports at all?
I played Giants growing up.
I was going to ask you that. You're a big guy.
Yeah, I played
Did you?
Huskers too. Yeah, this couple years, and I kind of went through the whole Chilliwack program that way.
You lineman?
Yeah, D-line, D-end. Yeah.
D-end.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah, I coached for the Huskers for a couple years. How long ago did you play for the Huskers-ish?
05, 06.
Okay.
Yeah. 05, 06.
And you went all the way through Chilliwack Giants?
Yeah, Chilliwack Giants.
They got a great program. I coached there for 2 or 3 years. Like, they got a great program.
I can't say enough good things about that program.
Yeah. They even everything from like their equipment's top of the line, their coaches, their board, and everything.
Yeah.
And then they've got that relationship built up with the Huskers, which is important as well too.
Awesome, somewhere for you to go, right? So
give me a football story. Sack.
Yeah, it's better. You know, like the sack's the best thing.
It is the
best thing. It's you know, there's one thing better than it. I probably can't say it on the radio, but. But yeah, no, I got to say football really was a building block for me, you know, like the people, right? And just like the community and this, like, you know, they kind of hammer you, right? So you either make it or you don't, which is, you know, been part of my life through the whole way. So it's been good.
Even on the line, you either make it or you don't. You either get that quarterback or you don't. Yeah. I loved it. It was great. And I really found community there growing up. So it was awesome.
Nice.
Still to this day, I hang out with those guys. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he was hardworking his whole life.
Yeah, he's an interior lineman. He's in the trenches. Now it's all making sense.
We're banging it out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm going to take it back to MacQueen for a sec. So how many, I know you've grown quite rapidly.
Yeah.
How many employees do you have right now?
We have 14 carpenters on staff. And then we have 3 or 4 office people. Okay. And then we have a superintendent and some project managers. So it's about 20 people.
Yeah.
And then we have some subcontractors that work with us full time, right? Like they only work with us, right? And so we got another 6 or 7 of them, right? So we have a pretty good crew. Yeah.
And has it been tough for you as well to keep to retain your employees?
Absolutely. Or? Yeah, it has been just like. Yeah, it's just like the shortage of good tradesmen, right? Especially carpenters is very apparent in our current marketplace, right? You know, so if I see a guy that's good, like, what do you need? What do you want? What can I do for you? Right? Like, hey, what are you thinking? What do you like? You know, I want to bring value to them,
right?
So they can help me, right?
Is there a way you do that? How do you bring value to them?
I would just say like connecting, like I'm being an easy guy to talk to. I offer very competitive wages, right? Our subcontractor pay schedule is probably unlike any other contractors. Like we have inside subs that get paid every 2 weeks. Like, like they invoice me on the 15th and they get paid on the 20th or before, right? So we have a lot of good carpenters that are of the subcontractor class that are full-fledged great guys, but they don't have to wait 60, 90 days, right? So that's been a way that I've been able to retain these high performing guys. And also like employees, like we, like growing up in a framer, like I never got paid overtime. Right. You know what I mean? There was no like company lunches. There's no like benefits. It was like, if you fell, you're fired before you hit the ground. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So, I'm trying to like really build a culture in that and bring value that way, is that they can know like we rely on them and they rely on us, and we have like a mutually beneficial relationship in that matter, right? So
you can build a career at MacQueen.
Yeah, right? So I've been really like the young guys. Like we have 6 apprentices right now. Oh, so we've been really,
that was my next question.
Yeah, we're hammering that. Like any guy that comes in that wants to learn, like we don't want any laborers. We want professional carpenters, right? Like we want guys that are going to make a career out of this, and if they not going to go full time, they at least get some. They got 2 or 3 years of their apprenticeship, or they get the chance for the training, or they're not just in there digging the hole doing the work. They actually get some paperwork behind it at the end of the day. Their hours are logged, and they have a chance. And we provide them with tools, and we provide them with abilities to further their education. And we don't have benefits right now, but that's coming very soon. And just try to like create value that way for the guys, because it's not all about, it is about the money, but also they, these young guys, they don't want to just be digging the hole all day, right? They want to be moving up. They want to see a future, right? And so that's been some of the ways that we can retain some of our top performers, right?
So if we had one of your employees or your employees, if they were here, what would they say about you?
I would hope they would say that I'm a good, nice guy. I think like we have a very good, like these guys phone me, like, so if something happens in their life, or they're getting in a jam, or they need help, or they break down, or like I'm the call, right? They always get the call, right? So I feel like I would say they would probably say I'm a nice guy and that I look out for them, right? And I there obviously is disagreements and stuff in business owner employee relationships sometimes, but I would say the vast majority would just say exactly what I said, right? Like, we try to like treat them really well. We treat them for lunch. We're going paintballing on Friday. Like, I just did the Garrison Bistro for all the employees, right? So there was like with their spouses, it was over 40 of us there on Friday.
Was that the Christmas party?
Yeah, it was a Christmas party, right? And then, they'll all get a card and some stuff and all that too, right? And they all get clothes, and they all have like I said, overtime, like whatever you want. Like if you guys need some extra money, here's the work, right? So I feel like if you take care of them, they'll take care of you, and that's kind of what I try to push, right? So
they'll take care of the job.
Yeah.
What about the accounting side of things? Like you have an accountant for your business. Are you like in there grinding the numbers, or do you just let your accountant kind of do their job? Because that's a big part of the business.
It is, yeah, it's huge. And historically, like I started doing it all, right? So I was doing the accounting, the business, and all, and that's a bit of a nightmare because I'm more of a hands-on guy, right? But like I can run a spreadsheet and all that stuff, right? Like, but I do have 3 full-time office staff, right? So we have an accountant, we have my executive assistant, and then we also have a lady that takes care of, she's kind of the middle ground. She takes care of like, our bursaries, our apprenticeship program, looking for safety stuff and all that stuff. So we do have a pretty good size administrative team that, kind of makes sure everything's good to go.
Right on.
Yeah.
And I know this, I've heard from other people, but you're heavily involved in the community. And why is that important to you? And how does someone who's new to Chilliwack get involved in the community? Two-parter.
Yeah, I guess it's important for me because that's why I have what I have, been taken care of by this community kind of, and like over the years, they've given me tons of opportunity. So I see that and I'm like, okay, I'm doing okay now. Like I've been successful in business, and I've had the opportunity to, reap the benefits of having this great community that I live in. And so like, for me, it's like, I feel the more I give, the more I give, and like I've just lived by this, like nice guys don't finish last, right? Like
Right.
pound it in there, whatever it is. Like, can I help you? What do you need? Like, what can I do for you? Right? Because eventually, that's how you have a good business, and that's how you have a good relationship with your community, right? You know, and I don't know how many people I've met through service, right? Whether it's the Rotary or whether it's, you know, so with our First Nations partners, we do lots of stuff, and you know, whatever it takes, right? So yeah, I think just the main thing is if you give back, you'll get it back, right? So
I think that ties in a lot to our community here in Chilliwack. We have a good, loyal community.
It's insane, yeah.
Yeah, it's we've talked about this a few times. It's unique in the sense that we do have a community that supports each other, and they're consistent in that as well too, and they are loyal. You must have an abundance of even other contractors that you're working with. You made the relationship, and the work's just there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like all of my trade partners, like, you know, my electrician, my plumber, my drywall guy, you know, my roofing guy, like they're all the same. Right. And we have a mutual beneficial relationship. I'll say that a few times, but it's, you know, they take care of me, I take care of them. We're not trying to undercut each other, you know what I mean? We're trying to give a very high-end service with a very high-end product and make people happy, right? So I've been lucky, you know, like from football or hockey or, you know, all these jobs that I've had throughout my career. Like I still talk to all these guys, right? And like we, to this day, get phone calls. Hey, Craig, you play football with my son. Like we're looking to do a bathroom. Or, hey, Craig, you know, you worked on our house when you're 18. Now my daughter's building a house, right? So like that's just one of the ones we did, you know, like that house when I was 17 doing the lock grades and lines. And like I just finished up building a place or renovating a house with a big addition and pool and all this stuff for that same family, right? So like that whole, like Chilliwack will really take care of you in that way too. Like if you build these relationships, right? Like they really want to take care of their own, which is nice.
Nice. Sorry, I really like that. Nice guys don't finish last.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's good. And because, you know, like I feel like sometimes you can get taken if you put your best foot forward, and, you know, some people will take, right? But I feel like the majority of people are good people, right? You'll have that 1% that, you know, you might lose on or whatever, but the other 99, like, you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't get tainted from that. Like if you get beat up a few times, like that shouldn't mar you and like, you know, make you bitter. You know?
What about have you got contracts going on outside of Chilliwack right now?
Yeah, like so we focus mainly in Chilliwack. We're about 80-85% in Chilliwack, but you know, we take care of some stuff out in Hope, we do some stuff in Mission, we do a little bit of stuff in Langley, you know, like existing customers and stuff that
you got to go where the work is as well too.
Yeah, like, you know, if I had it like a perfect storm, it'd all be right in Sardis, right where I live. But, you know, we have a lot of partnerships from in the valley, right? So like we don't really look for new work outside of Chilliwack, but if an existing client comes to us or there's a good, you know, opportunity, I'm definitely not going to say no. Like I want to take advantage of that and make sure that we can give them service too, right?
Let's hear from our sponsor.
Hofstede's is a locally owned and community-focused business. It's been in Chilliwack for 26 years. We pride ourselves on bringing the community the best and freshest ingredients year-round. You will find some of the best produce Chilliwack has to offer. Grocery aisles packed with local and world imports. A bakery with Chilliwack's favorite sweet treats. A deli with a vast selection of specialty meats and cheese. And of course, a cafe serving up specialty coffees, delicious paninis, and much more. Hofstede's, let's eat together. And renos on people's homes. Is that something you focus on a lot?
Yeah. So a major part of our business is renovations, right? So, you know, from a bathroom to, you know, like we just did Cultus Lake Golf Course there. So we underpin the whole foundation there and like, you know, put a 2-story addition, commercial kitchen, freezers, you know, big entranceway, timber frame, you know what I mean? So we can do, you know, bigger stuff too. And we, you know, but renovations has been our bread and butter, right? And we're very heavily involved in the First Nations communities with that, helping stuff, bringing in sewer, water, fixing roofs, like getting, you know, remediation and just making stuff better. You know?
So, yeah, when you're watching this podcast at home, I don't know which camera's on us right now. Yeah, call Craig. Yeah. Call Craig from MacQueen Systems and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, of course.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then, and I was talking to Tyler before about you and how you're connected to the community, but who else do you see in the community? Who's your pillar of the community? And if you had to recommend someone to come on this show, who would it be?
Yeah, I guess like for me, it would be a couple of my mentors, right? So I got a couple of buddies that started out kind of like me and they did it first, right? So I kind of got to see that and see, hey, you know what, this is actually possible. So Woodside Enterprises is a local company in town. Woodside, yeah. They do exterior finishing and siding. And one of my best buddies, Jamie Francis and Tiffany Francis, his wife, are co-owners of that company. And yeah, I was working in the oil field and they were doing this company and like, or I was, just doing smaller stuff. And I was seeing like, wow, they scaled up, they're the main provider of siding services for all the apartments and a lot of the general contractors in town. And they have, 20 plus guys in an office and stuff. And me and Jamie and I, we started out as, we were hanging out in grade 11, right? Just driving our trucks around. They couldn't try to find gas to put into them, right? So it was kind of neat to see him go from zero to like where he's at now. And I was like, wow, that's doable. Right. So Woodside Enterprises. And then another guy that I've worked with in the past that kind of showed me the way was Brian Miller. And he's BM Works, this company name, kind of plays like, doesn't really have a huge, like outreach with like social media or stuff like that. But he's a shaker and a mover, and he kind of showed me the ways too. Like, hey, you can make this for yourself. You just have to work hard, right? So, yeah.
There's the golden phrase, I guess, or system is social media. How's your social media? You guys bumping big time on social media?
Yeah, we Instagram. Like I'm pretty active on Instagram.
Do you run it? You do it?
Yeah, I have some help. So
right. You were looking for help there.
I was looking for my phone to show you, right?
Phone,
but I started like historically, like I take pictures, I go around, I do little videos, and but most recently I've had a guy named Caleb from Forward Media do some stuff, and Dawson Friesen as well from Friesen Studios, and they've come and put their professional photos in and done some really nice videos. And if you look on my Instagram now, anything really good, it's them. So yeah,
right on.
Yeah. So we're hitting that, and we're doing the website. We're building a online sales form and a bit of a sales funnel. And we do some SEO and some Google stuff. But we haven't really actually turned a lot of that stuff on. We've been building the infrastructure out.
Right.
So a lot of our stuff is just organic, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I post, like someone's grandma sees it, they share it, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Craig does this. Oh, we didn't know Craig was doing this, so okay, we're gonna call him, right?
But that's healthy too. Like that, any content is good content, for sure.
Yeah. So we do have a plan.
What's the Instagram? Sorry, what's the Instagram name?
MacQueen Systems.
MacQueen System on Instagram. Follow it right now.
Yeah.
We got to get on social media.
Yeah.
So
it's a big one.
And I've been resisting, and it's not my thing. But last night I had the thought, change my perspective, and it is my thing, and it's going to be our thing.
Oh my, yeah. We should get some shorts going on.
Yeah. Well, they're like this, like even here, like there's like so much like opportunity to get your name out there and to like get people interested, right?
Yeah.
Only for about 13 seconds, and they
that's right.
Yeah.
So all these like long-term or long-form content is kind of once like maybe your customers like want to use you might look into that, but like the short-term stuff, it's like you need to give them the
shorts,
dopamine hit.
Hammering on that dopamine.
Yeah,
that's the new thing though, Hugh, is like is short, because they say like the human mind like resets every 7 seconds when it's watching something. So it's like you see it a lot in the world of like podcasts or social media, YouTube, as they like say something and then they're like over here and then they're over here, and it's like these quick 7 seconds.
Right. Okay. Goldfish.
What's it called? What's that type of theory? Is it?
I bet you Tim McAlpine knows.
Tim, do you know what that's called? Like that when they just keep resetting the frame.
That's a good question, Tyler.
Okay. But you know what I mean, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
With shorts, they have a minute maximum. YouTube has really shifted a lot of the focus to that. And of course, they're following suit because TikTok changed everything, right?
TikTok? I don't know if I'm ready for TikTok.
Yeah, I don't do TikTok yet.
Doing like the, what's that one where it keeps doing? Yeah, like you're shooting a nail gun or something.
Yeah.
I bet you Tim McAlpine does too.
Tim McAlpine.
Yeah, he sure does.
So you're taking care of your employees. You built the company up.
Yeah.
Good Good. What was the expression?
Good Canadian boys.
Good Canadian boys.
Yeah.
Getting involved in social media, getting help for that.
Yeah.
Building out the website already looks good, and good testimonials. So you've done all that. What's your goals for the future?
Yeah, we're just growth mindset. We want to be the game, right? So we want to be the main provider of renovations and construction in Chilliwack, and we want to have brand. At home brand recognition. We want to, when someone thinks, well, what are we going to do here? They want, let's phone Craig, let's ask him. Right. So that's kind of where we're headed and what we're trying to shoot for. We want to be the main provider of these services and trusted and transparent. And I think with that, we should, we've got some, every year there's a lofty goal, right? So we've hit all of our goals and our targets this year. So we're looking to do that again next year, right? So
nice.
Yeah, it's been interesting, right? Yeah. I think the main thing is keep that, as we grow, to keep the customer service high. Like that's my main goal. And it's proven to be a challenge, and but it's a challenge that we're looking to conquer. So yeah.
Right on. Good for you.
What about little shout out? What about some of the contracts you got going on in Chilliwack? Do you want to talk about them?
Sure. Yeah, we do lots of work with Shem First Nations, right? And we do some work with like Skokale, Ashlets. We're up in Swally right now building a house which is called Cultus Lake. So yeah, we do lots of that stuff. We're doing a church right now at Shamview United Church, which is just down the road from here.
Is that a new build?
It's a renovation.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, we're doing a new home in Swally. We're actually doing a 20-bed recovery house in Shem First Nations, which has been a pretty good one for us. And we're happy to, those projects, are the ones we want to do, because I feel like there's a lot of meaning behind it. And we're not just building a house for building a house. It's like, okay, when we're finishing this, there's going to be 20 people that are going to be there receiving the help they need, kind of battling that battle that we have going on in our society, right? Well, obviously with the drugs and all that stuff, right? So that's been a really good one for us, and we're happy to kind of be involved in that. And Shem's shown us a lot of love that way and getting us involved. And we've been having we've probably renovated 30 homes on their land there, and we're probably going to do 30 more. So
it must mean a lot for a community guy to do something for the community, and resonate with your values. That's
that was well said.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, and it is nice, and so what we're actually finishing up right now. We should be finishing that by February. So. Yeah, and then we've got another park we're looking at. We're doing a memorial for the residential schools too. So we do take part a lot in our First Nations communities in town. We have a great partnership with a lot of them, and we're very lucky in that way that we can help them. And we have a mutually beneficial situation where they can call us for anything, and they're going to get value for what, and no one's trying to pull the wolves over their eyes or be
excellent.
Totally translucent and give good value, right? So
a little flip of the script. You said you're married. How long you been married for?
I'm 10 years.
Right on.
Yeah, 9.78.
So what about the family vacation? You did the family vacation?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go? What'd you guys do? Because you got to do that. You got to do the family vacation.
We're doing, last year we did Mexico. I was lucky. My mother and father-in-law paid us.
They came with?
Yeah, well, they actually brought us, so it was really good. Okay. So it was like my wife's family, their whole family. So it's like brother, sister, all the kids, cousins, and stuff. So that was really neat.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. So over Christmas, which is kind of neat. Never done that before, so that was super neat. And this year we're gonna go to Disneyland. So bring the little ladies.
I want to go to Disneyland so bad, Hugh.
I want to go. I want to go more than my daughter.
You've never been, right?
I went when I was. I never went when I was young. When I was 21. When I finally went to the oil rig money, then I went to Disneyland.
You went to Disneyland?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I tell all the tough guys I was going to Disneyland for a vacation.
And who'd you go with?
Just me and my buddy.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we actually flew into John Wayne Airport, and
that's a place, John Wayne
Airport. Yeah,
that's amazing.
There's 6 shooters everywhere.
Yeah.
But we flew. That's in airport in California, and then we rented a car and drove to, because he's from California, and we drove to Las Vegas, and it was a crazy story. Actually, it was like,
I want to do that drive.
It was snowing. And it was like all these
in
big,
Vegas,
dude. It was crazy. All the water fountains are frozen. It was
don't tell me that. I'm going there next week.
Yeah.
It better not be snowy.
Well, hopefully you had better luck than I did that time. But yeah, it was really neat. Yeah, so.
Nice. And to talk about Mexico, you're going back to Mexico.
Yeah, I'm going on Friday. Same, Puerto Vallarta.
Good for you.
Yeah,
nice.
My wife and daughter are down there now with my mother-in-law.
Awesome.
She's Mexican.
Perfect.
Well, my wife's Canadian.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
You can spend the holidays down there?
Yeah, Christmas.
That's
Perfect.
nice. Yeah. That's really nice. I've never been to Mexico. I actually had a trip all booked and everything, and then my wife got pregnant with our fourth, and she was just like, I don't want to go.
I'm not doing this.
She was sick and stuff
so
like
sweaty.
that. Yeah. And so I have not been to Mexico. I want to go to Mexico. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Going to go. Okay. I'm there. Yeah. I really like that idea.
First podcast from Mexico. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
BizWack goes to Mexico.
We'll invite all our guests.
That's right. That's right.
Let me get through Vegas first. I'm going for my boys. Both of them play for lacrosse team and traveling lacrosse team. So I'm going to do that. We're going to have fun. I'm meeting my brother down there. So let me get through that first.
Okay. Get through that first.
Are we ready for it? Are we ready for the 10 and 10-ish?
Okay.
So this is a good tradition. We end all of our shows with it. We initially talked about having this done in 10 seconds. It was going to be rapid fire. We're looking for rapid fire, but we're also looking to maybe improvise and talk about your questions or your answers, I should say. But we call it 10 and 10-ish. We got lots of time. Don't worry about time. But let's just jump right into it. BizWack 10 and 10-ish from Craig McQueen from MacQueen Systems. Favorite restaurant in Chilliwack? There's no drum roll going in this. Oh, he's got the drum roll.
I got Frankie's.
Yeah,
Frankie's.
Right on.
Yeah, slide in there once or twice a week, and that's usually where the business meetings are. And yeah, it's good food, and yeah.
Do you drinking wine? Yeah, there's been a bunch of Frankie's. I think. Yeah. Are you drinking wine when you're going to Frankie's?
Oh no, that beer guy.
A beer guy.
Yeah.
What are you drinking for beer?
Oh, we got a banquet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Coors banquet?
Coors banquet, yeah.
Yeah.
Real high class.
That's the hockey beer.
Yeah, that's right.
The hockey beer. I like that. If you were the owner of MacQueen Systems, what would you be doing in Chilliwack?
Wow.
Defensive lineman for the Huskers.
Defensive lineman for the Huskers.
yeah,
38.
Coach,
like, coming back from my 21st year as a
that's
lineman.
Funny.
Yeah, I would probably be a project manager somewhere, I would say. Like, trying to bring value in that way, I guess. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
One word that describes your leadership style.
Heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That'll tie right into this one. Who inspires you?
Oh.
Yeah, this is the one.
This is a good one. Geez. Probably just the guys I work with every day. You know, like the guys that are true craftsmen that are, you can tell they're good people. Like they do the right thing, right? Those guys, yeah.
The guys that are representing MacQueen Systems.
That's right. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's your best way to spend your free time in Chilliwack?
Yeah. Geez, I'm a motorhead a little bit. Like I have a Jeep, I've got a Harley, I've got KTM, like enduro. I ride a one wheel, like anything that elevates my
a one wheel, like the ones where like you gotta lean forward and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you just ride that around the job sites and just start barking orders?
Probably twice a week. Like I'm whipping it either in the evening or like
it's like a big guy too. That must
290 pound one wheeler, right?
Strong.
Wow. Yeah. But
you don't want to have to try to block this guy, buddy.
I think the one I might be over the weight limit, but it still goes. So
what kind of Harley do you got?
My dad. So my dad had a chopper, like a rigid hardtail, and he most recently can't ride it anymore. So I did a renovation for him, and I kind of bought it off him. So we've been fixing it up together. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like I don't think I would have bought a Harley otherwise, but it was his bike, and he kind of built it.
Is it a big bike?
Yeah, it's like a big raked out. It's like a Orange County chopper bike. It's like
so it's loud,
it's a hardtail, and it's pretty loud and ignorant for sure.
I'll be having an enduro as well. I want to get an enduro.
Yeah, I ride a KTM 690, and we do adventure biking. So I just probably 3 weeks ago I went to Whistler and rolled all the way on the dirt, like all the way through Harrison, through Pemberton.
You did that, yeah.
Oh yeah. So we'll go to the Whipsaw. We'll drive all the way. We'll go 3 or 4 day trips, just camping. And
how was the road conditions? Because I got a buddy that wanted to drive his little little tiny Ford truck through there, would it make it? Like
yeah, depending on the year and depending on what's going on, like it's very susceptible to washouts and stuff, right? So
If I buy one, can I go with you next time?
Yeah,
I want to come too.
Yeah.
Let's just make a whole documentary out of it.
You can
Go in
the back of
I
mine.
want one of the side ones. I'll just be the sidewinder, whatever they call it.
I guess, so Harrison's actually, because I guess I kind of missed this, but I was a power lineman for 4 years as well.
Right. So a lineman,
doing all that stuff. So I guess I missed that. But so we built all those, or I was part of building all those power lines on the backside of Harrison. So
I always thought about the people who did those jobs must have seen a ton of animals.
yeah, oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, it was awesome, and I definitely was one of the better ones I've had. It was really great. Like flew out on helicopters, and we had sleds and track packs, and
Have you seen cougars?
oh yeah. Yeah,
Really?
not very. I've seen lynx, cougars, like you know what I mean, bobcats.
Ooh, if you see them, that's because they want you to see them.
Yeah, not
right?
very often. Like I spend a lot of time in the woods, and you don't see them very often, right? That's usually a mistake, or you caught them off guard or something like that. You come around a corner or something, right? So yeah,
Cool.
I like this one. This is probably my favorite one, but it's super original. What is your favorite music artist? Who is your favorite music artist?
Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to their concerts 4 times. I think.
That's amazing.
twice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You've been twice.
Yeah. I actually have James Hetfield's sweat towel
That's amazing.
in the middle of the mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he threw it at me, and I'm like, yeah, and it was a big fight to get out of there, but I still have it. So
did you wash it?
No, no, I
Yeah.
smell it every night before I go to bed. Right?
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Metallica. So
Yeah.
you've been to 2 concerts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where were your
First concert
concerts?
at Rogers.
Yeah.
First ever concert was Metallica. I
Yeah.
got tickets, I don't know how.
Yeah.
And then the other one I went with my wife. And it was the one where they're trying to make it look like everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was. I
Yeah.
said, we should go. They have too many technical difficulties. We should leave.
Yeah.
No, like breaking guitar strings, or like the stage was
No,
falling
the
apart.
stage was, were you at that concert?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For
Did you
a
know
movie
stuff
or-
was supposed to fall apart?
Oh yeah, like I didn't care. I was having a good time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Metallica.
Yeah. And you hammered that right away too. Sometimes that stumps people.
No, I'm not like a super Metallica guy, but if I were to pick one band, it'd be Metallica. Like, you know, I listen to country, I listen to folk, I listen to classical, I listen to rap, I listen to everything, right? Like I'm not a one.
Me too.
Well, I'm just kind of everything, right? So
Yeah, me too. This is a bit of a 180. If you're making dinner, what's your go-to?
Steak.
Yeah.
Steak.
Yeah.
Steak, Caesar salad.
Yes.
Or chicken and Greek salad, one of those two. But if steak for sure.
Where do you buy your steak from?
Well, I just got it from. We had our butter steak yesterday. It was from the butcher shop there, Bill's Butcher Shop.
I know
The town butcher.
Yeah, the town butcher.
Yeah, the town butcher. Yeah, we get our steak from there.
They got some good cuts there.
Yeah,
Some custom
and they have really
cuts.
good mashed potatoes too, and
Really?
salad. So we went there last night. Actually, bought steak, mashed potatoes, and salad from him last night.
that
So
Right on.
yeah,
Might be my dinner tonight.
it is.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
after
you're
it.
flying solo right now. The family's down in Mexico. Treat yourself, just some steak and
Mac and cheese and a beer. Hey,
what are you drinking?
Water.
No, if you're drinking something today.
Oh, tonight? I hadn't thought about that, but now that you bring it up,
You wine?
and you mentioned beer. Mm-hmm. Maybe a beer.
What kind of beer? A Corona?
No, I like
you
Negra
sit-
Modelo.
Whoa, I've never heard of that.
no, it's really good. Yeah, it's really good stuff.
You have to have me over
Whenever I
for
go to
a
Mexico.
Negra Modelo, whatever.
Well, you make a chilada, so you take a glass with salted rim.
Oh.
Squeeze some fresh lemons in there, and then pour Negra Modelo. Very good.
Real good.
I'm coming over for one of those. That
That was my
sounds
drink
wonderful.
of choice in Puerto Vallarta on Christmas. Last
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I got to go to Mexico.
You gotta go, bud.
We're going.
Favorite setting of nature in Chilliwack?
Oh, the rainforest, or Cultus Lake. You know,
Where's which rainforest?
I would say Cultus Lake. Like anywhere in Cultus Lake, you know, I go there to recharge. You know,
Yeah. You got a boat?
I had a boat on the lake a couple years ago, but we didn't have one this year, and it was like a little bayliner or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like one of those things. Like, okay, when I make it, I'm gonna have a boat on Cultus Lake, and we did. I got like an old bayliner, and we just put it out there, and we had it for a summer. It was good, but the kids were just a bit too young. But I think we'll try that again in a couple years. Yeah, yeah.
And then let me get back to it because you know I like hiking and stuff. So where around Cultus Lake? Just
Teapot.
Teapot? Okay,
Yeah, Teapot's good, right? And then you have the Vetter Trail too, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff through there. And especially Cultus Lake too, because I go dirt biking up there as well, right?
Yeah.
So you can go up the Vetter Trail. And
You
there's
love
this
bikes,
limit anything on a bike, 2 wheels, yeah. For sure, yeah. Even the skinny tire ones, I'll ride those too. Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, I've actually priced bikes out, so this is.
But I want to go for it though. But I have to check in with the wife if we take off for like a year trip.
Yeah.
But
for our 40th, we're gonna go down and do the Baja. So that's Mexico and a bike all in one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What about that Route 66? I would like to bike that. I have a good friend, Ken Nice. He I said a good friendy. I have a good friend, Kenny Nice. He wants to do that desperately. He wants to do that.
I have a friend who did it. He said the best trip he ever took was from New York down through the Southwest and then back up to. He's from California.
Cool.
Yeah.
I rode a motorcycle one time in my life. I'm going to admit it. I didn't have my license for obviously a motorcycle. Jumped on it with flip-flops and a shirt and drove it for about half an hour, and it was too windy. And I was like, I'll never, ever need to ride a bike ever again in my life. But on the other side of it, like the enduro trip, like I'm good on a bike. Like even growing up is good. I know it's way different, but that would be the ultimate, is just taking off on a bike and just living out of your bike and everything.
Yeah, me and the boys do a couple every year. Like
on the Harleys?
No, on the Enduro.
On the Enduro.
Yeah, like we go in the woods. Like that Harley, I've ridden it like, I don't know, like a handful of times, right? It's kind of just fixing. It's a hardtail, right? So you can really only ride it about for an hour.
And you got like the storage on the side and everything?
Yeah, it's a KTM 690, and we have the bags and a little bit of a windshield and all that stuff, right? Nice. So yeah, but we'll go do some, all through the interior or whatever. Yeah.
Well, sounds like you got your free time locked up for the next year. So this will tie into this one. One thing you keep putting off.
Wow.
Don't look for your phone again.
Yeah.
Ask your wife.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure my wife would say like hanging the pictures in the house. Probably.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hanging the pictures in your house. I like that.
Yeah.
Where do you do your food shopping?
Like they're a town butcher.
Yeah.
I go there quite often, but I'm fortunate my wife does most of that for me. So and she's particular like that, so she'll just let her do that. And
you got to tell her to come into Hofstede's Country Barn.
Yeah, well, let's do that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the best time of year for apples. And this is a good one. I know Hugh's got it written down over there, but one piece of advice, saying, or expression that you want everyone to remember.
That's Hugh's got it written down. Yeah.
Say it.
Nice guys don't finish last.
Nice guys don't finish last.
Yeah. Yeah. And when my mom always said, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah. I always play that in my head. When it gets bad, you're like, okay, I want to quit. Right. Mom always says, all right, so you better get going, right? So yeah.
Finish last, that's it. Yeah. We did 11, by the way. 10-ish, 11-ish and 10-ish.
Hey, good eye.
Yeah, I like that.
Perfect.
Well, thanks very much, Craig, for coming on. Thanks for Tim McAlpine, our executive producer here at the beautiful Cowork Chilliwack. This is Garrah, Hugh Hamilton. Thanks for watching and listening to BizWack.
Appreciate it. Eh? This is what we're trying to accomplish as well, too. So thanks so much, Craig.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Yeah.